what's up? Think you gon' play me, just know that I'm not one of them. Feel like I don't know you, don't come around, no invaders them.
It's your boy Noto, coming to another video, coming to another podcast, man. Today's podcast, we're going to discuss how to attract groups of women, how to make your move. If you're new here or already been here, go ahead and click that like button, go ahead and comment, go ahead and subscribe, and click that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I drop a video. And without further ado, man, let's go on and get into this topic, guys. And when I say attracting groups of women, guys, you got to understand that they are together, guys. And a lot of these groups of women, they actually consult with each other and all this other stuff when it comes to dealing with men. And whether a lot of you guys realize it or not, they actually listen to each other when it comes to this kind of stuff. They talk to each other a lot about the dudes that they're dealing with and all this other stuff. So what I'm going to do in this video is just basically teach you guys how to get them attract the entire group, how to get integrated in the group, how to make your move on the group. Now, first is understanding the whole complex around the group of women. From women when they're like children, when they're kids, you notice like when they're running around the playground, you notice there's always one in the lead. You notice it's always a girl that's running the entire group. Probably her and her like subhead or something like that. But it's usually one girl that's running around and like all the other girls are following her around. You see what I'm saying? So that transpires from the playground, the sandbox, and all this other stuff to the elementary school, goes to the middle school, and goes to the high school, and so on, so forth, college, so on and so forth. So understanding that complex of the matriarch complex with that. A lot of them that have that rank of being the leader of the playground and all that stuff, that usually goes up. They usually don't necessarily lose their rank as they go up in life. So some of them, even if they do lose their rank, they don't never go down that far. So if they used to be a general of their own clique, or they used to be the leader of their own clique or something like that, they're never going to go down to like a foot soldier in another group. They're probably, the least they would do if they're going to follow another chick or let the other chick, which basically what all this is going to be called is the HBIC. This is what they call the head bitch in charge. That is going to be the one that they'll follow. If they follow her, they're never going to be low in rank. They're probably going to be like one step down from her. So they'll be like the one step down person from her. So they never go all the way down. So even if it's a chick, and probably they will eventually challenge that girl for the spot. Some like from time to time they'll try to divvy up. It's not saying like, okay, like in the wild, or they're going to sit there and fight over it. You just never know. Like from time to time, they want to step on the bounds. Some other chick might want to increase her status or make a power move or something like that. It just happens like that. So anyway, the whole big secret of this is, first is identifying who the HBIC is in every clique that you deal with. So this can be from a pair of girls. This can be from 2 on up. So from 2, 3, group of 4, group of 5, whatever. Find out who the HBIC is. Find out who the head bitch in charge is. So you want to just want to call it a bitch. You could be like, oh, the head boss in charge girl, the boss lady, whoever that is. Find out who that is. Find out who the leader of the clique is. Find out who the leader of the group is. Basically, find out who the Beyonce of the group is. Once you identify that, and let's go to different settings. Okay, if you're like, oh no, how do I identify who this is? Okay, let me go on and say a couple different settings here so I can further help you understand how to identify it. In the work setting, it will most likely be the boss. If the plant manager is a female or something like that, and even if the plant managers are male and there's like a female that's down, just look at it. The one that has the rank. The one that has the ranking in that environment, and everybody else has to report to her or something like that, most likely that's going to be the HBIC of that environment, of that particular environment. Now, that might not correspond to her everyday life, but in that particular environment, that's who the HBIC is. And for me, when I worked at the EVS and when I was in the hospital, HBICs in there were most likely the charge nurses of each floor. So it was the charge nurses, and there was the regular nurses. That was the total pole. Charge nurses, the regular nurses, and then there was the charge nurse, the floor nurses, and then there was the CNAs, and then there was us, EVS. It was probably transporter than us, but we was at the bottom of the total pole. But anyway, that was like the structure there, and I noticed that a lot of the CNAs and the nurses in order to be on that floor and be cool with that floor, what I would do is I would get cool with the charge nurses. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. You it's not even just like a devious plan. It's just really this paying respect to the environment, paying respect to where they are, respecting their environment. But okay, yeah, I'm talking to her. She's leading the group, whatever. Talk to the boss. It's almost like kind of checking in, but not checking in. You see what I mean? It's like, okay, getting them comfortable, get them acclimated with you. So if you cool with the boss, then everybody else on down just gonna follow suit. Basically, okay, that's it in the working environment. Okay, I know I got some younger guys that probably in college. So how you identify these ones is now if you want to go to the staff, I'm gonna start from the students. So from the students, like if a woman is like the SGA, Student Government Association president or something like that, if she's up in there, she's the HBIC of that clique, because there's usually the other girls that's gonna be up under her. And in another swarm, it could be okay, let's go over to the cheerleader squad. There will be the captain of the cheerleader squad, and it will be the co-captains of the cheerleader squad. But most likely you would want to get to the captain of the cheerleader squad, because the co-captains will have to consult with the captain and all that kind of stuff. They always report to each other, even if they don't want to admit it. But it's just how it is. I'm just gonna tell you that how it is. When it comes to the band, it's gonna be the dance captain. It'll be the flag captain if y'all have a flag corps squad or whatever, and it'll be the flag and the dance captain. But most likely it won't even necessarily, okay, the dance captain of her particular group, she will be the HBIC of her particular group when they're going out and stuff like that. But when they're in that environment, it will be the coach. Most likely that's who you really got to really get down to. It's the coach of that whole thing, the coach of the dance squad. So you get in good with her, or in a lot of cases these days, good and good with him. That's not saying you got to talk to her, but I mean, you know what I'm saying, do it like that. You're good and good with them, bro. It is, hey, you got free access. I'm telling you now. See, the thing is, the whole complex is getting very comfortable and integrated with the situation and the one that's in charge. When you're going for the head, you understanding that when you go for the head, the one that's in head will follow suit with the rest. So okay, let's go on further for the college setting. They got the sororities. On the sororities, and pretty much, if anybody know what the sororities, the organization, Divine Nine organizations, the Alpha, the AKAs, the Deltas, the SG Rho, you got the Zeta Phi Betas, you got them out. Hopefully I don't leave anybody else out, but that's just what is come to mind right now. I'm not meaning to leave anybody out, but that in that particular standpoint, I'm not sure what the actual leaders of them are, but I just noticed when online, I know that they got something called a DP, and usually the DPs are going to be the ones that's the HBICs over there in that point in time, and it could be more than one DP. But and pertaining to that particular chapter, if it's a woman that's actually the president of that chapter, she will most likely be the HBIC, because everybody got to report to her. But if they don't like her and don't respect her position, then she won't necessarily be in the HBIC position. Then that'll fall to a DP or something like that, because usually they're not active if they're not on a party scene, or they're not going out there doing things and not showing their face a lot, and a lot of them don't report. You'll know who it is, who they gravitate towards. And the thing is, the ones that they bring out online, you ever seen like what is these called, when they coming out ceremonies? I forgot what it's called. It escapes my mind right now, but it's they come out, and you see them when they walking in the line, and the DPs are the ones that's holding the symbol, walking in front of all of them. So I forgot what it's called. It's escaped my mind, but it's the event when they all come out online. So who is under them is called the Neos. So her Neos are the ones that report to her. So that's who she's over. That's who she's bringing through the burning sands. So basically, her Neos are who report to her. So you can't go to a Neo and be like trying to mess with them and stuff like that. And you can, but it wouldn't be too suitable. If she don't like you and stuff like that, it's going to be kind of frowned upon, because she's going to look for consulting with the rest of the group and stuff like that. But there is instances where you can mess with them without them getting into a lot. But if you want to attract the group and you want to be in good graces with the group, bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, going for the HBIC, you can't go wrong with that. Because a lot of them, they stick together. So okay, so that's the college setting right there. Okay, in the club setting, like, because I know a lot of you guys go out to clubs, the bars, and stuff like that. Respect the okay, let's speak on a stripper club or strip club. If you guys go out there, that would probably be the one that's probably the stripper that's making the most money. Most likely could be the HBIC, and the one that like is making the most money and have like a lot of people that's scraping a lot of the money over and stuff like that. You can see that because she most likely have like a headlining part of her show or something like that. But I've noticed sometimes that the person that might be the HBIC might not even be up that dancer. She might actually be behind the bar. So in a lot of cases, I've noticed that HBIC for those strip clubs usually can be a bar girl. And she's sitting out there, okay, they governing things, and you notice they always coming back and reporting to, it's kind of hard to identify unless you would be a regular in that type of situation. But if you are, then yeah. Now in the club, and you see groups of girls in the club, you'll see who they necessarily surround and stuff like that. And it's kind of harder to gauge that in the club simply because everybody's having fun and people just kind of come together for certain times. Even girls that don't hang out like from time to time, they'll just come together, and it's not easy. It's easier to decipher this in regular environments where people are just living and doing their thing, like in a college environment, like in a working environment, or everyday life, or probably going to like some type of event somewhere, instead of just trying to find it in the club, because everybody just there to have fun. Like you're trying to see who's the HBIC and most likely who they're surrounding. But like I'm saying, it's not easier there to try to decipher that. Now you can attract a lot of the women in the club by going for the head, and if they the whole point of this is guys, I know I'm rambling on, but I really wanted to get like a better understanding of this, guys, because when you understand this whole situation, you'll understand how to go about this thing. I don't like just telling you vague things, and you understand, because this is what I've done for my experience. Now if other things work for other guys and other experiences, that doesn't make his advice wrong. It doesn't make my advice wrong. This is how I've done it in my experiences, and if he done it a different way, then it is what works for him. So we're gonna do it like this. So basically, if you were in a club setting, you end up pulling a girl that they look up to, or in any of these environments. If any of these environments, you don't even necessarily have to pull them. You can pull them, but you don't have to pull them. If you know, you know. But you don't necessarily have to pull them. Just gotta be in like good graces to the point where you leaving the ones that's their subordinates wondering. Their subordinates looking like, okay, you cool with him, and if the subordinates see that she treats you good, and she reveres you, that she's comfortable speaking with you, that you're comfortable coming around, and if you're coming around her, guess who's around her? The subordinates orbit her in one way or another. They orbit her, they be around her. So if the subordinates see that you're constantly having a conversation with her, constantly saying things to her, she's comfortable with you, then and in turn, it just naturally they'll make them comfortable with you. So the whole group can have a chance to be exposed to you. This is before all the extra stuff come in, because they can find you attractive at first, but at the same time, there's still the integration process. They can look at you and be like, oh, you sexy from afar. They can look at you and be like, "Are you sexy from afar?" But you still have to talk. You still the integration process. They're still okay. I gotta consult. It's stuff like that. They consult with each other one way or another. It might not be as complex as most people may say. It might be small. It might be like, "Oh yeah, girl, you think you look good?" They can say it like that, and it could be like on some little, on some sidebar stuff, but they really want their input on what they feel like he looks like, or what do y'all think about him and stuff like that. That's why they ask these questions, guys. And I know you guys, if you ever seen a group of girls and they look at a man and you notice that how they talk to other girls and stuff, they always consult them when they messing with somebody, and they hang out in cliques. They click, even if they click is only one or two. They are consulting them. They're going to talk about you. They talking about you, guaranteed. You have come up in a lot of these conversations. So if they're not okay with you, especially if the HBIC ain't okay with you, bro, that's gonna be a big blow. That's gonna be a big blow. Now I'm not saying that there aren't ways past that. Never said it. Never said there aren't ways past that. But what I'm saying is things are a lot easier with the HBIC's approval. I'm gonna tell you that right now. When you got the golden ticket, Willy Wonka factory. You know what I'm saying? It's different trying to walk in the Willy Wonka factory if you ain't got that damn golden ticket. It's way easy. You can get in there. But you know what I'm saying? See what happened to those that don't act right when they in there. You know what I mean? So all I'm saying is getting HBIC and integrating yourself, putting yourself around her and getting in her good graces Not saying you got to simp to do it. Not saying you got to buy her purses and roses and go over there and rub her feet and sing Kumbaya and put hot rocks on the back and shit. I'm not saying you got to do all that. I'm just saying, just integrate yourself. Bring yourself around. Allow her to view you. Okay, if she views, she end up liking what you see, even if she ain't trying to get with you. But you putting yourself around, but okay. People tend to get attached to people that ends up being around them a lot. It's just, even if it's just subconsciously to a certain degree, even if they like, okay, say for instance, you and this girl go to the same break room at the same time at one point in time, and she just see you all the time. Even subconsciously, she's becoming more comfortable with you, even if she don't even know it. Even if she don't even know it, she might have been sitting way in the corner of the room at first when she first saw y'all two when they're alone. Now it's been a week now, she started to sit closer to you. Oh, now you going in, now y'all start to speak to each other. Oh, now you go see how things progress as you making people more comfortable with you. You make the HBIC comfortable with you. In turn, the Neos will come around too. Not saying you can't talk to the Neos about HBIC. What I'm saying is, when they consult and the HBIC don't like you, that can throw a big fork in the wrench. I don't give a damn who it is. They care about what the woman that they look up to thinks. They really do. It is what it is. You can say what you want. You be like, oh, that shit don't matter. I'm gonna tell you that now. Hey, there always are exceptions, but I'm gonna tell you right now, things are way easier when HBIC's approval is stamped. Do what you want with that information. You can say what you want. I mean, it's fine. But hey, we all have different experiences. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you how I did it. Go for the head. Everything else just trickles on down. I'll tell you that now. But anyway, it's your boy Noto. Come to another video, come to another podcast, man. If you enjoy the content, go to click that like button, go to comment, go to subscribe, click that notification bell so you be notified whenever I drop a video. Remember, guys, anybody can improve themselves, they're willing to work at it. I'm out.
So many people got so much to say about me, I'm like, hold on, just wait for a second. I don't get radio play, but I'm spitting that gas, I just call it that Hot 97. No, I ain't talking about Usher, but something don't add up, it's time that y'all made a confession. All of them talk about what they done did in the past, but ain't none of them shit in the present. Maybe they need to go get them some laxatives so they can clean all that bitch out they system. No, they can't be in my circle, these niggas be squares, these niggas rectangular prism. Told me to keep my friends close, but my enemies closer, I guess I just know how to pickle. Remember that day I saw all of them walking my yard, should've got my little pit with a sickle.